Well, today we are at the shop. It is Monday, and I have decided that I am going to slow down on shopping this week because I did a lot of shopping last week, and Shelby has not gotten around to processing the stuff yet because she's very busy. So I thought, you know what, maybe this is a sign that I need to slow down a little bit. So I'm gonna spend some time around the shop. I thought today would be a good day to get started on eBay, because tomorrow is the start of this week's eBay auction. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and our eBay auctions run Tuesday to Sunday. They're 5-day auctions, so it's a good day to start pulling items for eBay. Mom is going to be into the shop today at some point, and we're also going to try to get over to Bedford Street Antiques and stock the booth. I don't know how realistic that is to cram all of this into one day, but we're going to do our best. So we're going to head into the shop and get to work pulling the eBay items. So here we go. Here we are in the aftermath of last night's Whatnot sale. I usually just shut off the lights and go because Mom or Dad are home with the kids and they are waiting for us to get home. So we don't usually pick up, we just leave. so I come in, or Andrew comes in on Monday, and then we kind of have to do the cleanup from the Whatnot sale. So some of this stuff sold. I had intended to list this, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll do it as a giveaway, and then I just never got around to it. I'm gonna put this down on the bottom shelf though, because I may run that as a giveaway in the future for Whatnot. So it is Prince's house, and I actually purchased that from Shelby. She brought that to me. Occasionally she'll bring me a bunch of stuff, as you guys know, we've watched the videos, and I will purchase stuff from her. So that came from her. So this was a giveaway. Put this down here. This is kind of the setup that we have. This is the canvas light. It's worked really well for us, actually. I really like the setup. When I'm not running a Whatnot sale, I just tuck it under the table. That's where it goes. So that's where I'm going to put it right now. And that's where it lives, just down there. This guy, this ring light, just stays in the center here. Cords in. Actually, this extension, this really shoddy looking extension cord is the one that I use for my scale. And this sold last night on Whatnot. Put over here. That controversial bench is actually where I put my scale. So my scale lives here in between the boxes, and that's where I weigh stuff when I'm doing my listings. So I plug that into this very shoddy extension cord. And here in the black box is all the things that I have to put on the cart. Here was another giveaway. Maybe I could group those together to make it easier for the guys. This was a giveaway. Stick the fishy down here. Coffee giveaway. And another coffee giveaway. Ooh, careful. Put that in here. Okay, I'm gonna clear out the black box because obviously I can't do any eBay listings when the box looks like this. Mom has come bearing gifts.
My haul from Chittenango.
Hager. Hager. I like the shape of that, and I love the color.
Yeah, I haven't seen many like that.
No, it's really nice.
Usually they have like flowers on them, and then a little bit of spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Japan.
Some Fiesta.
One Fiesta plate. I couldn't find any more there. And then this. Do you have one of these already?
No, but that's pretty. I like that with
it
birds
has
on it.
Grazing.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyways.
It's got birds on it.
Yeah, well, you can have it. There were two of them. There was a larger one, but it had a chip.
Oh, man.
I found these at Erin's shop in
Oh, those are neat.
Yeah. She got all kinds of, it's a
Is that
pillowcase.
Bottle of ketchup.
They were teaching somebody how to make curtains. Look, they're handmade. I'm sorry, pillowcases from curtains.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I thought that might be cool. Make them back into a curtain.
That would be so fun to give those to Ashling just because they have bottles of ketchup on them. I got you new pillowcases. They have ketchup on them.
They had one with bananas.
Oh, that's
wait,
too
where are the
funny.
bananas? I think this one has. Does it? I left the banana
Oh
one.
no!
Let's see how they yeah, they were learning how to sew.
Oh, that's so
So
fun.
anyways, they were using old curtains.
Oh, that's
Be
so
curious
neat.
about this fabric.
You remember those curtains that Grandma had for the longest time? Those bark cloth curtains.
What color were
They were like super heavy, like well, now they're vintage heavy curtain.
Grandma Barber?
Yeah, when she had the rust colored cushions on the couch. Do you remember those curtains?
No. They're drapes.
No, they're drapes.
Anyways.
Those are like worth a ton of money now.
Are they?
Yeah. Do you know if she still has them?
I'll have to check the basement. Anyways.
Oh, that's so funny.
I thought they even might look cool in your kitchen.
Those are neat.
But anyways, so I didn't know if you wanted to put them in the booth.
I think they're cool. I think we have to spray, here in Pennsylvania, they have a law that if you put any textiles, you have to spray them. And we don't have a license to spray.
Oh, okay. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Maybe
We should convince Andrew to get a license to spray.
Yeah. Or a conversation piece in your guest room.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I changed up the guest room so they would even go in there. So
They're cute and vintage. I like them.
Yeah.
We'll find a use for them for
that's all
sure.
I found. Oh, and the yellow one. And it had 2 chips in it by the time I got home with it.
Oh,
The
because
yellow-
Myrtle jumped in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, Myrtle.
Myrtle turtle dog.
I should have wrapped the stuff, but fortunately, this Hager didn't get
Yeah, oh, I love that color. Perfect.
it. Anyways,
Yeah.
I've seen that somewhere else too. I might have seen that over at
The Antique Mall?
Yeah, Bedford.
I like it. I like the birds.
Yeah.
Very nice.
There's you can.
Oh, I can stop now?
I gotta tell you something.
Okay. So I should stop filming. All right. So we have the Whatnot cart loaded up. And we have the eBay cart. I really went light on eBay listings this week. This past week. This is last week's. These are all done. These are all sold. This is all moving on. We still have to do this week's. By the time you're seeing this video, the stuff will be listed that we are selecting today. But this is everything sold on Whatnot. And I'll tell you what, this was an amazing, amazing sale. It was so much fun, and it was awesome. I think this was probably my favorite sale so far. But let's go get some stuff for eBay.
Beautiful. Not a chip on them. I don't know. What do you think? I don't have a place where they'd be safe from the grandkids. You know, they're gorgeous. Yeah.
I don't know, I'm thinking to myself, these would do so much better on eBay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you run the risk of them getting taken in the booth.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah. I'm not sure why that wasn't listed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could put that in the booth.
Yeah, registered
Trains.
trademark.
Royal Dalton, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Should be. Maybe.
Maybe not. English fine bone
It's
china.
right there.
Oh,
Royal
you
Dalton.
got better eyes than I do.
I don't know about that.
Okay. I thought if we need to put anything up,
Sure.
stick it there. Alright. Okay, I need to go do the taxes.
Somebody's got to do them.
The taxes. Alright.
Those would definitely do better on eBay. I'm wondering if we should include these in our eBay listings for this sale. We should. Should we do a grouping? Raber. I think they're different companies, but I don't think that matters. Real Dover Lefton. And Royal Otterley. Those are very sweet. Alright, let's put those in a black box because that's going to be the best bet. Ooh, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it without breaking them? Oh, everybody just cringed. We're gonna do them in this box. And we will do them as a set. Even though technically they are not. So there's item number 1. Now up here on the shelf, I have started grouping stuff. I've talked before about how I organize my auctions and how many of you can look at this shelf and you're like, why don't you just pick 20 items? I can't just pick 20 items because in my head, I have a method to picking the items for the auction. And I like to pick a handful of items that will potentially sell for $20 to $30. Some items that might sell for $50 to $60, and then some items that'll sell for over $100. If I happen to have items on my shelf that'll sell for over $200, I like one or two of those as well. So I look at these shelves and I try to plan the auction based on what I'm looking at, because in my head I can do those calculations. So the other day I started grouping things based on what I was thinking in my head. This is just kind of here because I pulled this off the shelf for the whatnot sale, and then I stuck it back on the shelf, and I don't remember where I grabbed it from, but it makes sense to have it here because it makes sense for now. So imagine a line right here. And over here we have, oh, that's where I picked it from. You belong over here. So this is Bohemian glass. This is Joseph Hobskidadu. That's not really his last name, but I can't pronounce it. And we're just gonna go with that. So this is Bohemian. It's beautiful pink. We've got Scary Milk Glass Face Guy. I've seen him called a werewolf. He could be a werewolf, possibly. I don't know who that's attributed to either. I haven't seen it. I think the first time I ever saw that was at Roller Mills in the basement. I was like, what is this? It was really exciting. This was JT's booth. This was also Lemoyne. Beautiful blue opaline. So you can see I have quite a few items back here. Those two, well, these two in the back have been sitting around. This is marked Dunhill. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. I've actually had this one for a while. It's been sitting on the shelf for a while. It still has the auction sticker on it. The reason it's been sitting so long is because it has chipping. And I was finally like, you know what? It's just gonna sit there forever. So I'm gonna list it as is. You can see it's a humidor. Marked at Dunhill. I think it's Dunhill. Italy on the bottom. I'm pretty certain that makes it a humidor. That fuzzy stuff on the lid. So I'll clean that up. Get that listed in this auction. This one was found at Blue Mountain Thrift. Bedford. This in the back. It's Polish pottery. It's a picture of some sort, and I didn't know what the stopper would look like. Found that one in Frederick, Maryland. I've got a teacup. This weirdo. You guys remember him from Kenny's. I think with a backwards N. Adorable. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working with right now. I don't know quite how many items I have. Oh, this in the back also is old. It was sitting on the shelf, so I was just trying to clear older stuff on the shelf by including it in upcoming auctions. So I was kind of grouping it that way. Like, oh, this is older, I'll stick it in there. It kind of has a mid-century look to it. I don't know who makes it. I might try to Google Lens it before I list it. Maybe pinpoint a maker. Some oxidation there on the edge, but it's pretty nice. So that's what we've got to work with so far. I'm going to photograph this stuff. I'm going to photograph it, get it into my phone. Tomorrow is a work from home day, and so I need all the photographs, all the measurements, all of the weights so that I can list these items from the comfort of my own couch while tending to Laurel. I found this one at Frederick Goodwill. I think it was Walkersville, and I didn't realize how cool it was until I just set it in the white box and I could actually see the variance of the colors. Look how it's got this like kind of smoky looking color, and set it in here, and you know what it reminds me of is a sand dollar. That's what it reminds me of, a sand dollar. It has a polished base, and I set it in there and I thought to myself, I wonder if that is Murano, because I didn't have it pegged for Murano. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, that actually has some quality to it, and I don't know, maybe it could be. There is a little bit of a boo-boo there. It's not a chip or a crack. It's probably some sand that got stuck in the glass during the manufacturing process. That's the word I'm looking for. And a little bit of scratching there. Is it scratching or schmutz? You know what? I think I could get that off. I think that's schmutz. So I did wipe it down with some Windex, but I might try a little bit harder to get it clean. But that's really neat. That's really cool. I was just like, man, it's a piece of glass, but now I'm intrigued. Alrighty, everything on the cart is photographed. I reached out to my friend Peter, my friend who is pretty much an expert on glass, and I asked him about this piece. He agrees that it's probably something, but there's no signature. He asked me if there was a signature. There's no signature on it. So we're going to do a little bit more digging on this one before I list it. But if we don't find anything before tomorrow, when I start uploading these listings, it's just going to go. I found it at the Goodwill. Paid a few bucks for it. So I feel like we need more. More is needed because we don't have a whatnot sale this week, so we can do a little bit heavier on eBay. But this was all I had set aside, so I actually have to go find more. So that corner of the shelf is empty. This is stuff I've set aside for the next eBay auction. This is the vase Mom just brought for me. And this is the cup that I left here. I actually brought the whole set of these home, and I forgot to bring that one. So that's why those are there. But we have the rest of the shelves to pull from. But there's some stuff up here. Oh, we could do this. We could do the Arthur Court kitty. Put that as a paperweight. Alright, well, I'll get back to you guys when I get a nice little collection of things. Well, I went out and I raided the front of the shop for a few things. Including this. So if you saw our whatnot sale last night, it was amazing. But also, I teased Andrew about a handheld mirror, and I'm like, oh, it says Sterling. And he for a second, he was like, what? But this is actually Sterling. This is Mark Sterling. And it's got the right ping to it that, I don't know if I can make it ping. I don't know, I can't make it ping. But it's got the sound of Sterling. It's definitely Sterling. Just a little bit tarnished. This is also really nice. I think that might be cut glass. It's got a little bit of sharpness to it. Polished bottom. I didn't see any markings on it, but it's an older piece. Pressed Sterling lid. Fancy, fancy. That's not one for the scrap pile. Andrew's not getting that one. This is a candlestick. I actually pulled that out the other day. I just thought that was pretty. I don't know if that would be Russian. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is a copper dish, and it's actually marked. Maybe it's not copper, is it? No, it's Maya bronze. It's a bronze dish. Benedict Maya. So, dish, squirrel. Squirrel that we had to cancel on whatnot, so I'm gonna move that over to eBay. We had the paperweight that I showed you. This piggy was out on the front floor. We'll sell him. And then I bring you over to the white box. These dishes were out on the front floor, hand painted. But what's nice about these dishes is the back side actually looks like seashells. So I thought those were really pretty. I love finding dishes that look like seashells. It's like a pleasant surprise. You turn them over and you're like, oh, look, it's a seashell. So those are nice. There are 3 of those. I don't know if those are for tea bags. They're for spoons. I'm not really sure. But they're darling. They're dainty. This is Williamsburg. Wait, there's a note inside. Yes, Colonial Williamsburg. Keepsake box with porcelain tile. Got that in Thermont. Comes with the silica gel to keep it from getting moisture in there. Attributed to Henry Young. Watercolor and ink on wove paper, yes. So it is a reproduction of another, like a famous image or something, but it's a certificate of marriage. You could store your marriage certificate in this special box, or your divorce certificate, whichever you choose. That would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it? So this here is a handheld mirror. This was also out on the shelf. I just thought that was really pretty. Kind of Hollywood Regency. But yeah, so those were the items I selected. Okay. I think we're good. Got some stuff down here, some stuff up there. Those actually sold on Whatnot, but I ran out of room on that cart over there. So all of that is going out the door. So long, goodbye. So long. All this is going to be listed and on its way out the door. And this is our current shelf situation. The next time Shelby comes in, she's probably going to end up loading the shelves. And we're probably not going to cross paths. So I think my best bet for the stuff that I've already selected for next week's eBay is to move it over to another shelf so that it doesn't all get mixed up. Which I'm going to do. I'll do that right now. I was going to say I'm going to do that later, but I should probably do that right now while it's on my mind. So that I have it set aside for next week. So here's a preview for next week. Little preview. I found this in a box. Isn't that pretty? I thought that was pretty. The Italian one. I showed that in a recent video. I didn't know if this was Potosi or not. It's marked Italy. Really pretty. I was hanging out in the front of the shop for a hot minute. The Hager cat from Florida. This doojiggy. B. Ortiz from San Juan. San Juan is written in pencil though. And then the art glass. So I'm gonna find a new home for this stuff. And oh, the kitties. I didn't show you the kitties. Found those at Goodwill. I put them in two separate lots because these kitties are playing instruments and these kitties are just hanging out. I think they're probably the same maker. No markings though. So let's find a home for this. These shelves. Hi. It's the tax lady.
Yeah.
She's come to collect my taxes.
Yeah.
So the purpose of these shelves at the moment, I'll admit it, is pure laziness. I'm just too lazy to walk this stuff out to the listed shelf. And so I put it on this shelf because this shelf is here. And so Jesse, when he can't find it out on the listed shelves, he comes here and he finds it. For instance, I'm pretty certain that these plates sold over the weekend. But I did not walk those to the listed shelf after I listed them. I put them right here. So Jesse will probably be looking for those when he comes in to pack stuff. So maybe what I need to do is actually take the stuff that is listed, go put it on the listed shelf, then I'll get a better idea for the stuff that needs to be listed. Because there is also stuff here that is not listed and it's just hanging out. These shelves have kind of become a catch-all, but I think I have a purpose for them now. I think I can start to organize my upcoming eBay auctions or Whatnot auctions on this shelving unit. Here is an empty shelf. That's the best you're gonna get. I moved a bunch of stuff and then I realized, a lot of this isn't actually listed, so I really wasn't that lazy. Anyway, this Royal Winton. I think this was listed at one point and was never paid for, but spring is coming, and I've found that chintz does quite well in spring. So I'm gonna include this next week, and then I'm gonna shuffle next week's eBay over to this. Alright, so I think that's a good start of stuff to work on for next week. Obviously, I'm not going to start photographing this now because then I'll get confused. But this is a good start. I feel good about this. I feel good about getting a head start on something. Very nicely done. Okay, let's go back to the shelves because the next project for me today Mom and I decided, you know what? The booth is probably not going to work out today. So we're going to move that to Thursday. Thursday is going to be booth day because I still have to price all this stuff. This, I don't know if you guys remember this. You have to be like a crazy lamp lady OG to remember this. I bought this at the Hermit Hut a long time ago, and it was filled with wax. And I guess Shelby got the wax out. Finally, after a long time. You know, it was put away and then it resurfaced. That was the problem. It resurfaced and she got the wax out. It was put away because I'm like, I'm never going to get the wax out of there. And then, goodness knows, all I had to do that whole time was be like, here, Shelby. And she would have just popped the wax out. So, I just thought this was a really neat piece when I found it. Somebody has used it as a candle. So, where I was going with that is I am going to work on this shelf here, which Jesse and I moved over the other day, and I started loading with buy it nows. You can see the shelf is pretty full. It's pretty full. So I need to start clearing these items. And what that means is I need to photograph them, and then they go straight to the listed shelf because they're just going to be buy it nows. So we've got a really cool surfer trash can back there that I know everybody is going to be clamoring over themselves, over each other, clamoring over each other to own. I know that for a fact. Just kidding, probably not. But yes, I have to get some of this stuff listed. Mom suggested taking this guy over to the booth, which I like that idea because that would save on having to ship it. So this is going to go over to the booth. I just didn't have any room to put it on the cart, but I'm going to list that Solamine because that video is coming up for you guys. You may have already seen it. And, all right, let's go. All right, so I've got all of the fun Solamine photographed and these things, which I put back on the shelf because I don't have an empty cart and I'm not walking back and forth 7 million times. So when I have an empty cart, I'll load all this stuff up. You can see I've got a few things back there. And then I'll go from there. I also took photos of the trash can and this beautiful, it's backwards, Nippon vase. So this is what the buy it now shelves are looking like now, and I wanted to tackle this bottom shelf because this bottom shelf is a lot of plates, and I always think, I'm like, oh god, plates, why do I buy you? Why do I buy you? But also, the ones are really cool, right? So are these ones. These ones are really cool. You've seen these throughout the years. Why they've been hanging around for as long as they have, I don't know. They're so cool. They're Italian. They're Italian. I gotta list those. Anyway, so I'm gonna work here on this set. Okay, here is our buy it now shelf. Tons of stuff photographed today. Now I've actually got to sit down and list it, which will be the fun part. It's actually not that bad. I just sit down and Laurel plays with her toys and I list, and it works out great. Now it's like going on 3:40. I have to pick Ashton up from basketball at 4:30, and I don't know, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done for the day. Been doing a lot of walking back and forth and grabbing stuff and lifting stuff, and I think I'm just dragging. I'm dragging now. And I'm gonna go grab some Starbucks before I have to go pick up Ashton. Get a little Starbucks, and then go sit and wait for Ashton at the school. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There was kind of a little bit of eBay and then a little bit of organization, which we need and we are working on. Oh, but I wanted to show you. I have an idea in my head, and I wanted to show you my idea. The pile of stuff. I told you in a recent video that Jesse and I were going to tackle this pile of stuff very soon, like this week. And our goal was to put shelves here because we were going to have shelves for the booth space. And I'm like, you know what? Is that really a good use of wall space to do that? Probably not, because yeah, we do the booth occasionally, but we can always pull stuff off of our buy it now shelf, because buy it nows can either be buy it nows in the booth or buy it nows on eBay. So this shelf kind of serves two purposes. And I was thinking maybe we could use this space right here for whatnot. We could set up a little area for whatnot, and we have this big shelving unit out on the floor that's like a cubby, and we could use the cubby for our whatnot sales. I could set up lighting over here, and we could move that apart from eBay, and I could actually have a shelf for whatnot similar to what I did over here, and I can have stuff on that shelf that is designated for whatnot. So I'm thinking that's a better use of this space. Eventually this is going to be our only workspace back here. This will be it, because there is going to be a shop. So this is all we've got to work with. So we have to make good use of it, and I think that would be the best use of it. So that's what I've got in my head anyway. So I guess I'll see all of you guys tomorrow.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you